Making an appearance after a long time to defend Robert Vadra is Randeep Singh Surjewala, Congress Party spokesperson, and taking him on is Subramanian, Swamy, Shazia, Ilmi and Kiran, Bedi, all three joining us tonight. Now, Bhupinder Singh Hooda tried real hard shielding Robert Vadra and the controversial DLF deal. That almost seemed to be his compulsion, his choice, his decision. Does it appear to me that your interest in defending Robert Vadra is seasonal? Sometimes your party does not come out and defend him, sends other people on his behalf because they think he's a private citizen. Now you are coming out. I mean, why does this keep changing? What is the Congress Party's real position on Robert Vadra?
Well, Arnab, I do not know what Finance Minister has in mind, but the only thing that appears to be is that there is witch hunt, there is revenge, and there is a sense of vengeance that they want to unleash.
Okay.
There is no wrongdoing in any deal of any nature.
Okay.
Mr. Robert Vadra was given a license for 3.5 acres of land.
Okay.
In way back in 2008.
Yes.
That
how did he get the money to purchase the land?
In 2012 to another company.
No, where did he get the money to purchase the land?
Cancelled.
No, where did he get the money to purchase the land?
And that mutation that was cancelled, just a minute, Arnab, please have the patience to hear.
Should we go point by point?
Please have the patience to hear. The mutation that was cancelled, the wrongdoing that is being alleged is only two. No, that's why I'm saying I'm going point by point.
So
there are only two wrongdoings that are being alleged. A, that the land was undervalued. B, that the mutation that was entered into between DLF and Mr. Vadra's company was wrong and was rightly then cancelled by Mr. Khemka. And both these facts are factually incorrect. A, no wrongdoing has been found qua undervaluation of land.
Right.
As per the collector rate, Mr. Robert Vadra's company have paid twice the collector rate. Number two, as far as cancellation of mutation is concerned, that was per se illegal and without jurisdiction. Verified then by three highest officers of the state, one of them whom happens to be, I won't name the officer, on a very senior position in Mr. Modi's government himself. And it has been corrected as per law.
Okay, fine. So now may I, with your permission, sir? So I find it interesting, you didn't answer my question. My question was actually that why is the first question, opening question was that I know you wanted to make your opening comment. My question was, why is your interest in Robert Vadra seasonal? One day you said Tehseen Poonawala, who is neither a Congress spokesperson nor an official panelist, but he speaks on behalf of Robert Vadra. Now Congress spokespersons are beginning to come in because maybe the threat is appearing to be more real. Anyway, I will not get into that because then we can go into subjective territory. Subramanian, Swamy...
Well, I hold no brief for Mr. Poonawala.
Right, but
and
you do for
I'm only stating a simple fact
but
that no wrongdoing was done, no favor was shown.
One question.
And what the finance minister is only hinting at is nothing less than vengeance and witch hunt, which has been proved wrong in case of Rajasthan, which will be proved wrong here. And we are open to any probe. Their cronies have gone right up to Supreme Court of India. And all those petitions of probe against Mr. Vadra have been rejected. But why does Finance Minister not disclose that fact? That both the Delhi High Court, the Supreme Court and the Allahabad High Court dismissed those petitions on facts and merits and found them to be motivated.
Mr. Surjewala, I can ask counters to each one of these, and I actually accept today that I find it very heartening, Shazia, Ilmi, Kiran, Bedi and Subramanian, Swamy, that here is a Congress spokesperson who appears to be well armed with what he feels are the facts to defend Robert Vadra, but he does not answer my basic question, Shazia and Kiran Bedi. He does not ask why a private citizen is now getting defense from the Congress party spokesperson, Shazia. Whether Randeep Singh Surjewala will come out and speak on behalf of every private citizen in the country who has any grievance with anyone. I mean, I am seeing the shifting sands of time.
I shall answer that. When you try to malign the Gandhi family by targeting a particular individual not founded upon facts, but only on threat and coercion, then we have a right to answer, and that is what I've done. And unfortunately, you have a 3:1 panel today.
Okay, so Mr. Surjewala, 3:1, you've taken 5:1 time. Shazia, my question was yesterday Robert Vadra, private citizen. Today Robert Vadra, symbol of the Gandhi family, symbol of India's political dynasty. I just saw the thing change in the last 5 minutes. I'm sure a lot of viewers will see that change. And my question was why a private citizen is being defended by a Congress party.
Well, absolutely. Exactly, it's been very convenient. Sometimes union ministers defend him. Sometimes nobody defends him. People who are don't even claim to be spokespersons, and sometimes old loyal war horses of Congress come forth and defend Robert Vadra. So we really don't know as to what his status is. Is he really the first damad of the first Congress family, I'll say, not the first family of India? Is that his status? Or is it a little bit more than that? But for me, it's very heartening to know that something is going to be done. We have followed this case, and Arnab, if you remember, 2 years back, you had Ashok Khemka sitting in your studio, almost crying because he had been shunted and transferred 40 times in 21 years.
Yeah,
and
well,
only
absolutely.
He cancelled the land mutation of 58 crore. You know what? And so this is important, not just because of Robert Vadra, not just because of Sonia Gandhi and Narendra Modi, but all those upright officers who go out there and call a spade, who have the guts. So this is a very important case, not because of BJP or Congress, but because of rule of law, whether it really prevails in our country. And yes, there should not be any politics of badla, as my friend insinuated, but there should be politics of badlao. So not vindictiveness, but of transformation. And I hope this is what is going to guide this
Kiran Bedi
against the Bedi of the first family.
Kiran Bedi, Randeep Surjewala says, I have been forced to come out because the witch hunt is against the Gandhi family. Do you think this argument can allow him to get away from the details of what Robert Vadra has or has not done?
The only way this chapter will, which Mr. Vadra's chapter will close, is Mr. Surjewala and team asking for inquiry themselves. I think, in fact, if they think there's nothing wrong, ask for the inquiry, saying we welcome the inquiry, we want this to be investigated, and we want to know, and we want to be established that what we're saying is right, rather than defending him. Ask for inquiry, because there's so much which is to be inquired.
With due regards, ma'am, but who is stopping the current government from holding an inquiry?
So just welcome the inquiry, Mr. Surjewala. Just welcome it, saying we welcome, we're willing to support you.
Why call it a witch hunt?
By all means.
Why call it a witch hunt?
By all means, I respect, madam, what you say.
But why you call it a witch hunt?
I bow before you, ma'am. I respect what you say, and I say it on your channel today.
Why do you call it a witch hunt? Why do you call it a witch hunt?
If you are going to prejudge the issue, I call it a witch hunt. I call it witch hunt, Arnab, when the finance minister of the country, before even concluding, even beginning of the inquiry, finds wrongdoings,
he says prima
then does it not hint at a predetermined mind of only witch hunt and vengeance?
Okay. So
does it behove the finance minister of the country without looking at the papers to find everything wrong?
Prima facie
does
case,
it behove the finance minister, who is a capable lawyer himself, and whom all of us respect?
So maybe the
to say everything is wrong, he should have said no. I do not know whether things are right or wrong. We will examine them, and after coming to a conclusion, post an inquiry, we will see whether something is wrong or right.
Okay, so maybe,
but you don't begin with a presumption that everything is wrong. That shows that you are prejudiced and your mind is already colored.
So Mr. Surjewala, you see, there are some areas where there is grey area, and there are some areas where there is black or white. Now, I'll get Subramanian Swamy into the debate. I think we should squarely talk about the details of this case. Right? It is like asking today, where did the sun rise? Could it have risen in the west or the east? And if you say the sun rose in the east, then maybe you are prejudging the entire affair. Now, Subramanian Swamy. Witch hunt. Congress spokesperson says witch hunt. Now, let's start with the details. Congress spokesperson says the money was acquired legitimately to buy this piece of land. My information is slightly different. Should there be a discussion on facts, I now invite Subramanian Swamy and all the panelists, especially Mr. Surjewala, to debate how Robert Vadra managed to acquire the funds to purchase this piece of land in Manesar in the first place. Because my information is the newly incorporated Skylight company in 2007 had 1 lakh rupees as of March 2008 being its paid set-up capital. Vadra's Artex export firm lent the company 4.45 crore. Corporation Bank's Friends Colony branch gave an overdraft of 7.94 crores to Skylight Hospitality as per the company's balance sheet. Skylight Hospitality invested the entire loan amount plus share capital in a piece of land at Manesar in Shikopur. Consequently, Corporation Bank has denied having given an overdraft to the company. So the big mystery is, to start with, Subramanian Swamy, how did Vadra fund the property? And I really think we should now go very detailed into this debate. Yes, please. Subramanian Swamy.
Well, it has been very clearly stated in the report prepared, extensive report prepared by Khemka. And I think the proper procedure, before I answer your question, is that the Haryana government should very soon register an FIR and take Vadra into custody for interrogation.
Custody?
Of course, because these are cognizable offences and therefore he can be taken into custodial interrogation. And he should be interrogated on a point-by-point basis on the extensive report of Mr. Khemka. Of course, let me also say that Mr. Vadra's crimes are not only in Haryana. This Caventer thing is in Delhi. There is a Kerala airport project in which there has been a lot of fraud in the land. Then there's the IPL question, which was alluded to. And then in Rajasthan. So ultimately, I would think that you might need a CBI with an SIT, because money laundering has also taken place. He has a beautiful house in Dubai which needs to be inquired how he was able to afford it. He has got an establishment and perhaps is building a hotel in London. So all this material is available with the government, and I think they should begin in Haryana with an FIR, question him.
Mr. Surjewala,
I wish Mr. Modi started lending some ear to Mr. Subramanian Swamy for all the preposterous allegations that he continued to level, which are neither based on facts nor on any evidence. And I don't know why, despite his best efforts, neither the government nor anybody in the government, much less the Prime Minister or the Finance Minister of the country, despite his best efforts, refused to listen to him. And he's been crying from housetop. But that apart, the simple thing is, Mr. Subramanian Swamy doesn't even have basic knowledge of the fact that Mr. Khemka prepared no report. He only passed an order on 15th of October 2012 cancelling a mutation between DLF and Mr. Vadra's company. An order that was passed 4 days after Mr. Khemka was transferred from that post under order of the High Court of Punjab and Haryana. An order where he summons record for 25th October but cancels the mutation on 15th October ex parte in complete contradiction of law, without calling the parties and without hearing anybody. And that matter is then inquired into by a committee of
are you misrepresenting what Ashok Khemka did?
One of whom
are you misrepresenting what Ashok Khemka did? Because, no, 1 second. No, 1 minute. Sir, I have just one.
Oh, what Mr. Khemka did was per se wrong, without jurisdiction and illegal. And that has been gone into by a committee of three senior most
I think we should listen to each other. The question is this, and Subramanian Swamy, Kiran, Bedi and Shazia, you can all come into the debate. Now, what did Ashok Khemka say? Ashok Khemka said that this is a sham transaction. My question to Mr. Surjewala, and I hope he answers correctly, is it true that an amount of 7.5 crore rupees was claimed as paid by Vadra Skylight Hospitality to Omkareshwar Properties with the check number 607251 of Corporation Bank, despite the fact that the check did not belong to any bank account of the Skylight Hospitality? Answer the questions.
Well, Mr. Goswami, if you read the order of 15th October of Mr. Khemka, what he said that the mutation,
now you're fumbling.
As also Mr. Vadra's company was illegal and without jurisdiction.
No, sir.
You are fumbling, sir.
You are fumbling, sir.
And that order was per se without jurisdiction.
Sir, 1 second.
It has been gone into by 3 officers. No, you are wrong on facts.
Sir,
I'm sorry, Mr. I'm sorry, Mr. Goswami. For once,
Mr.
you are wrong on your facts.
Mr. Surjewala, I wish I could have
Khemka's order was very, very clear. That order has been set aside. Why has the BJP or Mr. Swamy not challenged that order? Why has nobody gone to a court of law and challenged that order, Mr. Goswami? Why has
Mr. Swamy answered that.
Why has the cronies of BJP not proceeded to lodge a first information report?
I ask a follow-up question, and I hope before...
If Mr. Khemka's order was so right, it has been in public realm for 2 years.
Sir, you explained to me some things that I don't understand. Please explain to me. Prima facie, you know what the investigation is. Prima facie investigation should be, how did Robert Vadra's fixed assets and investments shoot up from 7.95 crores in the fiscal year 2008 to 60.53 crores in the fiscal year 2010? And Mr. Surjewala, since I'm trying to get you into specifics, but you're moving away in a slippery. Yes, Shazia? Should he answer that, Shazia? Should Mr. Surjewala answer that, Shazia? The whole asset case. How does a person's asset multiply like this?
Yes, Mr. Surjewala is exactly by what magic wand creates this kind of money, where does the money come from and how is it disbursed like that? And why would DLF, this big reality company, be so meherban, be so mesmerized by the business skills of Robert Vadra is a huge question. But I think it's the other way around. I don't think Robert Vadra is being witch hunted. I think the upright officer called Ashok Khemka and all those who raise the voice in this matter, they are being witch hunted.
Kiran Bedi, I find tonight...
That's a shame.
No, Kiran Bedi, you've been in the... I find tonight... You see, if the argument to everything which happens, you know, Raja said witch hunt. Kalmadi said witch hunt. I mean, I dare say the man called Dayanidhi Maran said witch hunt.
Exactly.
Anyone who's followed says witch hunt. So I don't know why Mr. experienced spokesperson like Randeep Singh Surjewala does not have a sense of deja vu that the witch hunt argument has often been used by people as the last recourse when there is no other argument left. Kiran Bedi, then you pull out the witch hunt argument that, you know what, everything may be wrong, but the fact is I'm being persecuted. Kiran Bedi, will this witch hunt argument work?
It would not, because Vadra's case is clearly a case of undue favors done to an individual because he happened to belong to a family in power. It's that case. It's undue favors in many respects, in the following respects. And these are the following quickly.
Okay,
if you give me a minute, I'll complete it.
Go ahead.
Number one is the gift of the land to Vadra. Gift of the land to Vadra is number one. There's a fictitious consideration involved. There's a land use conversion involved in haste and the value escalation. Then there's a issue of land transfer and sold for a windfall gain. And then there's a question of windfall profits are used to multiply assets across the country. Here's 1 crore becoming 300 crores across the country. The point is probably, 1 lakh becoming 300 crores. Wait, these are perceptions. These are allegations, and you have a very good whistleblower in Ashok Khemka. When you have these are Surjewala, let me complete.
That you are placing.
Mr. Surjewala, let me complete. I'm complete. Let me complete. Well, these are the allegations. You should welcome an inquiry. Otherwise, this matter will not be laid to rest. You don't say witchcraft. In fact, you will then prove that it was witch hunt when the inquiry proves what you write. But without inquiry proving, how will you prove that it's a witch hunt? So welcome the inquiry. You say we welcome it. And we think it's a witch hunt.
You think Mr. Surjewala should say on Newshour he welcomes the inquiry? Mr. Surjewala, come on. Why don't you say we welcome the inquiry if you have nothing to hide? Why don't you say that?
But madam, I said it in answer to your earlier question. I said, by all means, inquire into everything that you find wrong. And it has been inquired not once but thrice by already judicial forums. 1 by the Allahabad High Court,
of the case.
2 by the Delhi High Court, and 3 by the Supreme Court.
Not on the merits of the case.
Bharatiya Janata Party
not on the merits of the case. Not on the merits
all
of the
these
case.
facts that they continue. Mr. Swamy and others continue to level. Perhaps those petitions were drafted by the ilk of Mr. Swamy. All 3 were rejected. Why? And a 3 senior most IAS officers committee has inquired into it. By all means, inquire into it again, madam, and I respect what you are saying. All that I'm saying for 150 days, there is Government of India there, Ministry of Companies Affairs is with them. Why did they not inquire? Why is this shoot and scoot policy of the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister? Why do they only use it for political gain during political rallies and do nothing about it? And the truth is that judicially it has been proved that there was no wrongdoing. Administratively it has been proved that there was no wrongdoing. And 3 different courts of the country, including the highest court, has put its seal of approval that all this is nothing but sheer witch hunt and political motivation that BJP is trying to unleash.
Now, you see, the fact of the matter is that I don't need to draft petitions for other people. I draft it for myself. Right now, I'm prosecuting Ms. Sonia Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi in the National Herald case. Summons have been issued. Prima facie case has been established by court. And once I'm through with this and send them to jail, I will go after Mr. Vadra and file my own case. But now the Haryana government is in a position to file a case and use the state resources for the same. And I want to tell you, even the corporate ministry is now preparing a case because Mr. Vadra has floated company with different director identification numbers.
What?
In which his mother is also there. Yes, what? You can have only one director identification number for all your companies, but he has got 13 different directors.
Is this true, Mr. Surjewala? Is this also going to be a witch hunt if this is true?
Well, I don't...
You don't want?
No,
I
is
think
Mr.
Subramanian Swamy lying?
Swamy keeps taking facts out of his
Is Swamy lying? Is Swamy making this up?
And he is used to it. Why has he not lodged an FIR?
Okay, why haven't
Why has he not lodged an FIR?
Okay.
It's been 150 days. Why has he not gone to the finance minister? Why has he not gone to the prime minister?
No, if this is very big.
So why has his government not taken any action?
No, 1 second.
Why does he only reserve these allegations for TV channels
the question.
and public rallies?
No, 1 second.
Now I'll answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
They have a
no, let him reply now. Let him reply now, sir. Let him reply now. You made the point. You made the point that Robert Vadra is
suffering from verbal diarrhea.
There was nothing wrong.
1 minute. You made a point. Subramanian Swamy, you made a point that Subramanian Swamy is not speaking the truth when he says that Robert Vadra had many companies under different director identification numbers.
Yes, absolutely.
Please go ahead.
I am telling you that I am already on the National Herald case. I am also on the Aircel Maxis case. I am still prosecuting the 2G spectrum case. Now, I have a limitation of time. I have brought it to the notice of the Corporate Affairs Ministry that Mr. Vadra and Ms. Priyanka Gandhi both have multiple director identification numbers.
Is this true, Mr. Surjewala? Is this true?
Wait a minute. In the case of Ms. Priyanka Gandhi, she wrote a letter apologizing as an oversight, and I dropped the matter, although still it's a crime. In the case of Mr. Vadra, he is so brazen, he thinks that no law can catch up with him. And there are so many other cases.
So why are you defending him if this is true? Mr. Surjewala, why are you defending him if this is true? If this is true, would you still defend him?
Well, as I said, and Mr. Swamy was very fairly conceded that he has not even placed the facts before any authority. They have been in power for 150 days. I put it to Mr. Swamy. Why has he not gone to the Prime Minister of India, or has he ceased to get appointments with him? Why has he not gone to the Finance Minister of the country? It's a party, their own party is in power.
Is that answering the question?
They said the same thing in Rajasthan.
Are you answering the question?
For a year now their government is in power.
Are you answering the question or are you ducking?
But all the investigations have turned out to be false.
The man is suffering from verbal diarrhea.
But you know, Arnab, that's a fair contention.
Well, you're suffering from loose motions. What can I do about it? You go and take medication.
You got verbal diarrhea. I have got so many cases where people have been cornered and gone to jail. Should be ashamed of yourself. The most corrupt. Even a Congress MP called Inderjit Singh. Now please keep quiet. Please keep quiet. You are a corrupt person. Everybody knows your corruption in Haryana. You too will have cases against you. Remember that.
You should have a knowledge about.
You're a very corrupt fellow. There are many cases to be filed against you also.
I said, don't you threaten me. Everybody,
I am not
everybody
threatening
knows what a
you.
terminated
If you have broken
professor
the law, you
for the
have to
shit
face
that you
the law. If you have to broken the law, you have to
You
face
are-
the law.
you are a
Your own
terminated
Congress
professor,
MP,
Mr.
Rao
Swamy.
Inderjeet Singh
Arnab.
said so.
And you were terminated by none less than the Harvard University. And Mr.
Arnab, let me
Inderjeet Singh,
remind,
I respect him at
Not
least. He's
for
your minister,
corruption,
at least have some
you brainless
basic sense.
fellow.
Oh, 1 second. Don't go. 1 second. 1 sec. Don't get personal. Remain focused.
Inderjeet
1
Singh is
second.
your minister.
1 second. Up
And
to
don't
a point.
be mad.
No, up.
We know we all know you are a mad fellow.
Yeah, we know you are suffering from verbal diarrhea.
And you're suffering from loose motions.
Good. Maybe
And
you
Arnab, you should have some sensible people on your debate.
I'm asking
Yes,
both sides. I'm
we
asking
should.
both sides. You know, we were.
Some
1
people
second.
with some
I'm
public
asking
support.
both sides. You both pull back. 1 second.
Like to
both sides. No,
With
to
some
both
sense
sides.
of
I'm saying.
majority
No.
and some
Subramanian
sense of sensibility.
Subramanian Swamy, I'm requesting you. As long I have no problems as long as we substantially debate the issue. But I don't
I
think.
brought out facts and what did
so
he
let's
say?
talk facts.
You didn't stop him at that time.
Yeah, so-
I brought out
but then
facts
both of
about
you-
director.
Sir,
All
but-
you could say is, I make up, I don't get appointments with the Prime Minister, as if he knows whether when I go
That's
meet
all
the
right.
Prime Minister or not. What kind of idiotic remarks are
Okay,
these?
1 second. Now, Subramanian Swamy, the
All
point
your
is,
IQs are so low.
Subramanian Swamy, I request you, now, I'm making a point here. I think we will benefit much more if we focus on the particular issue. I was also asking questions to Surjewala. I'm asking specific questions to him.
Yes.
And I demand specific replies. My question is, Arun Jaitley uses the word prima facie, Kiran Bedi, Shazia. Prima facie. I am saying, doesn't it prima facie warrant an investigation that the Haryana government processed and facilitated the Vadra land deal at a breakneck speed? Doesn't it warrant an investigation as to whether Robert Vadra was being singled out for special treatment by the Haryana government? Is that not the issue here?
Absolutely, without any doubt.
How does
And
that
it should
become
have
a witch
been done
hunt?
much
Can I
earlier.
answer that,
And
Arnab?
No, Shazia,
yes,
after
and
Shazia.
also system cannot be... Yes, just one sentence. I want to make a statement here, and it's important. This is not about Subramanian Swamy or Mr. Surjewala or even about Robert Vadra. I think our system, the way it works, cannot be held to ransom by one political establishment or the other. So that's important. And two, it's very important to understand that the rule of law must prevail. We cannot allow, if somebody is being witch hunted here, is the public, is the common citizen,
Yeah,
is the upright bureaucrat who chooses.
Yeah, absolutely. I've lost the line there with Shazia. It got frozen, so I'm going to go to Kiran Bedi. Yeah, okay. Yes, go ahead, Shazia. Sorry. If you're back, go ahead.
Yes, so I'm saying if somebody is being witch hunted, it is not Robert Vadra, but the common man, the common woman in this country. The institutions are suffering, the credibility is suffering. And I think upright citizens, honorable citizens, regular citizens, officers like Ashok Khemka, they are being witch hunted in our country.
No,
so let's talk about them and let's defend them for a change.
Shazia, my question is on the witch hunt issue.
It should not be politics of vindictiveness here.
No, I'm asking about the witch hunt issue. Kiran Bedi has had a hand raised for a long time. Kiran Bedi, this witch hunt argument, we go into details, but who's being witch hunted? Is it the Aam Aadmi who's being witch hunted? Because when this Robert Vadra's proposal goes into the case, the most scathing indictment is delivered where the PAG talks about how the Haryana government strayed from the policy of basing its decisions on the financial capacity of the developer. The PAG says though the paid up capital of this Robert Vadra firm is only 5 lakh, but the proposal was accepted considering quote unquote the status of the director of the applicant company. The firm in question is Skylight Hospitality. The director is Robert Vadra. If Robert Vadra is a private citizen, why is his status taken into account? And what is the status? The status is Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law or Rahul Gandhi's brother-in-law? What is the status? I mean, therefore, who should talk of a witch hunt?
Yes.
The Aam Aadmi or Robert Vadra? Kiran Bedi.
I'd like to say, Arnab, it's when one has so many allegations coming from all different directions, and they've been emerging for the last 2 years. In fact, they have not gone off the headlines at all. They've been part of the media for the last 2 years. It became very active from October 2012. For 2 years, one has not missed a single day when something or the other concerning them. What I'm saying is, it is now the responsibility of the new Haryana government to have this investigated independently, not by a bureaucrat under their control, but by an independent, preferably a judicial hand. Independently, and we also want to know who were the bureaucrats who were a part of this nexus, because all this cannot happen without a bureaucratic nexus with the politicians.
Yes.
Who were the politicians and whether the bureaucrats involved in which bureaucrats? We need to isolate them as well.
Yes, Mr. Surjewala. No, Mr. Surjewala, you think this witch hunt thing is going to bounce back on you, rather boomerang back on you? The more you say witch hunt, the more suspicious people will get.
Well, Arnab, I have already said in answer to Ms. Bedi's query earlier that we have nothing to hide or nothing to not disclose. By all means, the government of India as also government of Haryana are well within their rights. Nobody can stop them from looking at every matter, every transaction. All that I want to say on your channel, do not prejudge the issue. Do not hold anybody guilty until proven. That is the basic foundation. I did not say we are opposed to an inquiry.
Okay.
In fact, when Ms. Bedi raised the issue, I was the first one to immediately agree. By all means, Government of India can look at it, Government of Rajasthan can look at it,
Right.
Government of Haryana can look at it. By all means, inquire into it. Inquire into it through an independent authority. No, I'm not pulling back. That if you please
CBI
check your recording of your channel again. I said right in the beginning,
CBI, SIT.
please get it inquired, but do not get it inquired with a premeditated mind. Do not get it inquired with a view to hold somebody guilty. Do not get it inquired by first judging that a person is guilty, that a transaction is wrong, and then hold an inquiry. First come to a conclusion and then start an inquiry.
Well,
that would be turning the table upside down.
I think you're pulling back a bit.
Ms. Bedi has said it.
I think you're pulling back a bit.
Get an independent
This question
inquiry
goes to all the viewers
by all
tonight.
Means, Mr. Vadra or Government of Haryana or Mr. Hooda has nothing to hide.
I think Randeep, Surjewala and Subramanian, Swamy and others should come on a longer, deeper debate. We can go into every single allegation on the merits of this case.
Absolutely.
On the merits of this case.
And with documentation.
And with documentation. And then we debate it. Then we ask, is Robert Vadra really the victim of a witch hunt? Or is he the beneficiary of state largesse? We'll talk about that. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on that debate.